$8,000 in debt, $0 in savings, 3 months in a row. A paycheck that disappears before the next one even arrives. That's Jordan's life right now. And if you're honest with yourself, some part of it probably sounds a little too familiar. Here's the thing. Nobody tells you. The people who escape that cycle almost never do it with one big lucky break. No lottery ticket, no secret investment tip, no rich relative swooping in to save the day. They get out quietly, through a handful of small, unglamorous habits, repeated day after day, until one day, the results are impossible to ignore. Jordan doesn't have a single one of those habits yet. That's exactly why he's stuck. And it's exactly why, if he starts today, everything can change. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because I'm about to break down the 8 habits that quietly make people wealthy. The ones nobody posts about, the ones that don't look impressive in the moment, but that are the real engine behind almost every wealthy person you've ever admired. Habit number 1 is the one most people get wrong first, so don't skip it. None of these 8 habits are flashy. You won't see them in a highlight reel. They're quiet, boring, and easy to ignore, which is exactly why most people never build them, and exactly why the people who do end up so far ahead. Let's walk through what Jordan needs to start doing quietly, consistently, starting today. Habit number 1, stop trading time for money. Right now, Jordan has exactly one source of income, his hourly job. Last month, he got sick for 4 days and watched his paycheck shrink because of it. That's a trap he's in. His income is capped by his own body. No hours worked means no money earned. There's no ceiling he can push through, only a wall he keeps hitting. Quietly, in the background of their normal lives, wealthy people are building things that make money whether they show up or not. Nobody sees the hour they spend on a weekend building a small side project, or the freelance client they picked up using a skill they already had. It's not exciting. It doesn't look like anything from the outside, but it slowly becomes a second stream of income that isn't capped by anyone's physical hours. Jordan needs to start something like this quietly, without needing it to be impressive yet. He doesn't need to quit his job tomorrow. He needs to ask himself one question tonight. If I couldn't work today, would any money still come in? Right now, for Jordan, the answer is no. That has to change. Habit number 2, track every dollar. Here's a habit nobody brags about, but almost every wealthy person quietly practices. They know exactly where their money goes. Jordan doesn't. Food delivery, forgotten subscriptions, small impulse buys. By the time his next payday hits, he's already broke again, and he genuinely can't explain how. This isn't a dramatic failure. It's just the absence of a quiet habit most people never build. Jordan needs to do something simple starting this week. For 30 days, write down every single expense, even the $5 coffee. By the end of the month, he'll almost certainly be shocked. People in Jordan's exact situation typically find $200 to $400 a month leaking out on things they don't even remember buying. That leaked money is Jordan's starting point. Once he finds it, it becomes a seed of his first investment account instead of quietly disappearing the way it always has. You cannot fix what you don't measure. Jordan needs to track every expense for 30 days, no exceptions. Categorize it into needs, wants, and investments. At month's end, find the leaks hiding in the wants column. This habit is boring. Nobody posts about their spending spreadsheet, but it's quietly the foundation. Everything else on this list is built on. Habit number 3, pay yourself first. Once Jordan finds that leaking money, he can't just let it sit in his checking account waiting to disappear again. He needs to set up an automatic transfer. The day his paycheck lands, a percentage moves quietly and immediately into a savings or brokerage account before a single bill gets paid. Even 5 or 10% is a start. It will feel tight at first, especially with $8,000 in debt hanging over him. But Jordan needs to trust that he'll adjust because he will. Within a couple months, that missing percentage will barely register, while the account behind it quietly grows in the background, untouched. This is called paying yourself first, and it's one of the quietest habits on this list. There's no announcement, no celebration, just a small automatic transfer happening in the background every payday. Jordan can't keep relying on having money left over at the end of the month. There's never anything left over the way he's currently living. He needs to make saving and investing automatic and invisible, the same way his rent is automatic and unavoidable. Habit number 4, surround yourself with builders, not spenders. Right now, Jordan's friend group treats ambition like it's cringe. Every time he's brought up wanting to save more or start something on the side, the jokes start. Must be nice, here we go again. So Jordan has stopped bringing it up. And quietly, without realizing it, he stopped trying at all. This is a habit almost nobody talks about directly, but it shapes everything. Wealthy people are quietly selective about who they spend their time with and whose opinions they let shape their decisions. It's not dramatic. No big falling out. No announcement. It's just a slow, quiet drift toward people who think bigger. Jordan doesn't need to abandon his friends. He needs to find at least one space, an online community, a local meetup, even a single friend, where ambition is normal instead of mocked, somewhere he can absorb better habits instead of quietly absorbing the ceiling everyone else has settled for. Habit number 5, learn to sell. Jordan thinks of selling as something sleazy, reserved for pushy salesmen, which is part of why he's never asked for a raise, never pitched an idea at work, and never tried to turn any of his skills into extra income. He has value to offer, he just doesn't know how to communicate it. This is one of the quietest habits wealthy people build because it doesn't look like selling from the outside. It looks like someone who's simply good at explaining their value clearly and asking directly for what they want. Jordan needs to start practicing this in small, low-pressure ways, explaining what he does in one clear sentence, framing the value of his time and skills, and asking directly instead of hoping someone notices. This alone could get him a raise, a freelance client, or a side income stream he currently isn't even trying for. Right now, Jordan is quietly undercharging and underasking in every part of his life simply because he's never built this skill. Habit number 6, take calculated risks. Jordan is scared of risk. Understandably, he's already $8,000 in debt and feels like he can't afford to lose anything else. But playing it perfectly safe forever is what's quietly keeping him exactly where he is. Once Jordan gets his spending tracked and starts saving, he'll eventually face a decision. Keep every extra dollar sitting in a low-interest savings account out of fear, or put some of it into an investment that could actually grow over time. He doesn't need to bet the rent money. He needs to do the research, understand what he could realistically lose, and make sure he could survive that loss before he commits anything. A calculated risk isn't a gamble. It means you understand what you could lose and can survive it. You've done the homework, you're informed, not guessing. The upside meaningfully outweighs the downside. You have a plan if it doesn't work. Nobody sees the quiet research someone does before they invest their first few $100s. But that quiet homework is exactly what separates a calculated risk from a reckless one. And right now, staying completely safe is the biggest risk Jordan is quietly taking. Habit number 7, reinvest your wins. Jordan hasn't had many financial wins lately, but that will change once the first 6 habits start working. A bit of extra income from a side hustle, a small raise, maybe a tax refund. His instinct, like most people's, will be to treat himself the moment any extra money shows up. Instead, Jordan needs to quietly reinvest the majority of any win back into fixing his situation. paying down debt faster, adding to his investment account, or upgrading whatever tool or skill is helping him earn extra income. A small celebration is fine, but if Jordan spends every win the moment it arrives, he'll stay in the same cycle he's in right now. This is how compounding works, and it's easily the quietest habit on this list. Money that makes money, growing on top of itself, completely invisible day to day. It's slow and unglamorous at first, but if Jordan starts reinvesting now instead of spending every win, that quiet habit compounds into real financial security over the next few years. Habit number 8, protect your time like it's money. Here's the habit tying Jordan's whole situation together. He spends close to 3 hours a night scrolling his phone, and he says no to a $20 purchase, but yes to hanging out with people who drain his energy and talk him out of his goals. Jordan needs to start treating his time with the same seriousness as his bank account. That means quietly cutting his nightly scrolling down, protecting even a 60 to 90-minute block each evening for building, tracking expenses, learning a new skill, working on a side project, and starting to say no to plans and people that don't move him forward. That daily block is where every other habit on this list actually gets done. Nobody sees that 90 minutes. It doesn't get posted anywhere, but it's the quiet engine behind everything else changing in his life. Right now, Jordan is $8,000 in debt, living paycheck to paycheck and stuck, but his situation isn't permanent. It's a starting point, not a life sentence. None of the habits on this list are exciting. None of them will get Jordan noticed or applauded. That's exactly the point. They're quiet and they work anyway. Stop trading time for money. Track every dollar, pay yourself first, surround yourself with builders, not spenders. Learn to sell, take calculated risks, reinvest your wins, protect your time like it's money. Jordan's situation isn't special and it isn't hopeless. It's the same situation a lot of people watching this video are in right now. The only thing separating stuck Jordan from quietly wealthy Jordan a year from now is whether he actually starts building these habits. Here's your homework for Jordan and for you. Pick one of these 8 habits and start it today. Not tomorrow, today. A year from now, you'll either be further along because you started now, or you'll be exactly where Jordan is right now, watching another video just like this one. The choice is yours. If this video helped you, hit subscribe, drop a comment telling me which one of the 8 you're starting with, and I'll see you in the next one.